Youngy, was that a long meeting or was it a lot to discuss?
Yeah, it was a long meeting, but I feel like after a poor loss, sometimes there's a bit more detail that you have to go into, particularly when largely the things that went wrong on the weekend were to do with our team D, which is something that we pride ourselves on. So yeah, we just went into a bit more detail, which was good. And I suppose the positive is, although we didn't get it right on the weekend, it's something that has been a really strong part of our game for a long time. So some pretty easy fixes.
I was going to ask you about the slow starts because it came back again in that first quarter, didn't it? Could that have something to do with the time of day you're playing? Geelong was very early, it was hot. MCG was early game, hot.
Yeah, I don't think so. We were in Melbourne for a week. We got on Melbourne time, so it was essentially a 1 o'clock game for us. Or was it 1 or 2 o'clock? I don't know. So I don't think so. Maybe the Geelong game, because that was 3 hour time difference, and it was a 10 o'clock game for us, but not on the weekend.
And the centre clearances, did that get a big mention at them? Were you in there a lot, and what was your thoughts on what happened there?
Yeah, we didn't get the job done. It was a bit of an issue on the weekend. Obviously, Max Gawn had a good day at the office, but as a midfield group, we didn't support Sean enough around the ground throughout the day, and yeah, we just didn't get the job done.
The inconsistency there around the ability to win the clearances and contest the ball across the course of the season. Sometimes you're good, sometimes you're poor. There's a big gap in between. Why do you feel that's happening at the moment?
It's a good question. It's been a bit frustrating because, there has been a bit of a gap. We feel like our best footy in those areas, when we bring it, beats anyone. But, yeah, we think it's sometimes it's a mindset thing. Coming off 3 wins against maybe some weaker oppositions and just expecting that that's going to happen, which against any AFL team, it's not going to be the case. And if you're off by a couple % in any area, you'll get touched up, and that's what happened on the weekend.
So that mindset, we've seen for a few years now that when expectation has risen for the group that haven't been able to take it to the next level, what do you have to do to fix that part of your game?
Well, yeah, we spoke about, we feel like as a team when we play with a ruthless mindset, almost a backs against the wall mindset, we're a better team, and when we get too comfortable with how we're going, we just lose that ruthlessness. So that got brought up today, and that's something that we'll take into next week.
Do you feel blokes were a bit comfortable on the weekend against the 17th-place team that hadn't won?
I'm not sure. I think it was pretty evident if you watch the footage. Maybe going into the game, he might have not said we're comfortable, but it's pretty evident in some of the footage.
Did you sense you just weren't on, though? I heard Jordan say, first quarter, we're not here. It's not happening. We're not on at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, there's times in games where you feel that, and the challenge is to try to snap out of that pretty quickly. And the reality was we still gave ourselves a chance to win the game of football. So it doesn't matter if you're off a little bit early. You've still got to be able to find a way to get back, and we did that. We fell a bit short. Shea Bolton has a shot at goal. We would have been a point behind with a few minutes to go. They obviously went on to kick a few more, but it's a tough game, and yeah, you got to just make sure that when you're off for a little bit, you don't stay off for too long.
Justin said that after the game that you weren't tough enough. What's your response to that, and what does tough football look like for you as a playing group?
Yeah, well, that's what we spoke about as a playing group, about our ruthlessness and our mindset going into the game, and we can't just expect it to happen. And we watched some clips that were pretty uncomfortable about opportunities where we could have shown a bit more physicality or put our name on the ball or run harder defensively. So those sort of areas will be focuses.
Keep your head over the ball longer, he said too. I haven't heard that before. It's something that obviously they focus on. They're just keeping your head down and not pulling out too early.
Yeah, I think we just got touched up around contested ball, and a lot of the times contested ball is on the ground, putting your head over it. So yeah, I think that was a key indicator.
Can you tell us what happened with Cozzy then? So he went into the middle. So Chapman was set for him, but then he goes through the middle and pushes forward. But somehow you were losing him when he went forward, or what was your reading of it with Pickett?
I'm not really sure. I don't think that was an issue. Like, he obviously had a good game, but there was some other flaws in our game as a whole team that really let us down. He kicked some nice goals, but I don't think I suppose that flip was the reason that we lost. It was more just team system.
I don't know whether or not you've been privy to some of the defensive sort of discussions, but a real opportunity. Obviously, Adelaide, a massive forward line in terms of just a height and a real opportunity, I guess, to sort of bounce back. What are some of the things that specifically the defence will be focusing on, given that, just from what you said?
Yeah, well, on the weekend we got scored, or they transitioned the ball from back half too easily. And I think Adelaide are the number one team from scoring from their back half. So that's basically, in a nutshell, the focus.
That team defence you spoke about, obviously I think based on the numbers last year, you're conceding around 10 points more this year in terms of that points against metric. Has that been spoken about? Because like you said earlier, we have come to know you guys as such a defensive side. Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, no, it has. It's been a big focus for us, and last year we were so consistent with our team day, and I think this year it just hasn't been the case, which is frustrating. But yeah, we want a game where it's 70 to 60 and it's low scoring and we win, and that was what we come to know to last year. And I think this year we've improved our ball movement, but sometimes it's come at the cost of our team day, so we've just got to find the balance.
You said your preference is low scoring 70 to 60 sort of games. Is that what you just said?
Oh, well, yeah, I just think if we're restricting team scores to 60 points, we prefer that, yeah.
So you don't want the shootout element we've seen a lot more high scores this year across the league. You don't feel that suits you still?
Oh, no, well, I think if you can restrict the team to 60 points, you're probably going to win. Ideally, you want to score 100 points, but it doesn't matter if 4 points is 4 points.
How are you feeling successive 6-day breaks off of restricted pre-season? Like, how have you pulled up, and how confident are you feeling decent by Friday?
Yeah, no, I'm feeling all right. Just a bit fatigued. 6 days does that to anyone, but no, I'm pretty keen to get out there Friday.
Is it a challenging week when you had the game in SA with the long bus trip, then a flight, and then another game and flight back? So 2 flights and 2 6 days. Is this a unique challenge this week?
A little bit, but I think we've dealt with travel a lot as a WA team, so we're not used to that. So I think they're giving us an extra day off this week just to recharge the batteries, which will be good. So be plenty of recovery this week, but also cracking in for training tomorrow.
That was the thing, wasn't it? You couldn't actually, not that you ever blame the travel, but you couldn't blame the travel this week because you were there all week, weren't you?
Yeah, exactly. No, there was no excuses, no.
So Len Hall game, that'll give you a big lift, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it will. Friday night, big game for the club. Everyone's super excited. And yeah, Friday night on the big stage will be good.